On the draw. They've been into Graven Cairns to cast Voidwalker onto playing into Luris. Probably have to keep this. No more Luris Bring to Light brew. I mean, that's an older brew. We played a lot of it on this channel. We'll return to it at some point. This is just what I felt like playing today, right? Put a Multi 5 on the play, but we might lose to MONKE. MONKE. Ah, just a Channeler. A Humble Dragon Rage's Channeler. I might actually save Thoughtseize for for Luris here, because Thoughtseize really messes up me playing my Den. I'm gonna Bauble on my turn so I can draw a Bolter Heat. Let's go. Okay. And then we play Voidwalker, and then that probably stops them from getting Delirium. Ooh. Okay, well something's in there and tapped here. This probably stops them from getting Delirium, and then we can Kolaghan's Command, likely kill Voidwalker, return... likely kill DRC, return Voidwalker. The general deck is very sweet. How did the games go last night? I only played 3 matches. I went 1 and 2. It's more than just the Manamorphoses that I'm not sure about, though. The deck did feel slow. It didn't have the explosive potential Jund Sacrifice had, but it was very grindy. The mana is a headache too. But yeah, there's a lot of question marks. But the deck seems way closer to being a good version of this deck idea than it has been in the last few weeks. For those of you wondering what we're talking about, because you just came in, I've been trying to brew around Can't Stay Away, a card that I think is pretty powerful, especially in combination with General Rockarek, being a multicolor reanimation spell for Rockarek that you can flash back. And I finally got a draft that I feel was good enough to play test together last night, very similar to the Jund Sack deck, just the Jund Unearthed shell. And the deck felt fine, but I feel it needs a little bit of hammering, you know what I mean? Niv plus General? Well, I mean, that doesn't work with this. It doesn't work with Can't Stay Away, which is what I'm trying to try out. But also, they can't drown this. They can drown my Voidwalker. So if they surveil something into the yard, maybe I can Voidwalker that. But they're not going to get Delirium here. Mishra's Bauble. Okay, so if I sack Voidwalker to cast the Bauble, then they do get Delirium and their Channeler survives. Yeah, but if their fourth type they discard is, if the card they discard is another type, they actually keep the Channeler anyways. So it's kind of a gamble. If the last card is a creature or instant, I don't have to crack immediately. I mean, if I don't crack this, it just dies. No. So the drown gives them Delirium. The drown gives them Delirium. Yeah. It's not the Bauble giving the Delirium. It's the drown. Wait, does Voidwalker exile drown? I think it does. I'm not sure though. Does Voidwalker exile drown? Judge? No, it doesn't? Okay. Then easy Bauble then. They discard their last card, which was a Death Shadow. So they would have had Delirium either way. Their top card is Unholy Heat, which we can discard. This is a really interesting turn. So they probably put Luris in... No Luris in hand, wow. So should I Luris here? I think think so. I think I should discard their Heat, put Lurrus in hand. It's either that or Kroxa here. But I think this is a good spot for Lurrus, with the second discard spell to back it up. Pretty good draw for them. And it's pretty good against Thoughtseize. So the Thoughtseize does grow the Shadow. Why do you consider Reboot and Thoughtscour? That means the card selection matters so much in Esper Reanimator. It's not even like... It's not really close. Okay, they're just dead on board. They're dead to the Kroxa, they're dead to the Den. They're just dead. This was not an attack they could make. Yeah, the card selection matters so much more than just like bidding 2 cards. Shouldn't you play Thoughtseize instead of Inquisition because they knew about it? I don't think that... I think that the 2 life matters so much more than the information there. Enchant Trick is my reason behind 2 Void Mirror, 1 Chalice sideboard, not 1 Mirror, 2 Chalice. I kind of waffle back and forth between it, but the reasoning is that you can play 2 Voidwalker Mirrors out at the same time. I like to bring in 2 Void Mirrors against Elementals. I like to bring in 2 Void Mirrors against Etron. You can also play Void Mirror Chalice if you play the Chalice before the Mirror. Where if you have 2 Chalices, it's more likely that your 2 lock pieces are not going to be able to coexist on the battlefield, which is pretty relevant against like specifically Living In and Rhinos, of course, where they have a lot of answers to these artifact-based lock pieces. So being able to play 2 out at the same time can stop them from being able to unlock themselves from the lock pieces. I'm gonna lead on Channeler here. I don't bring in Void Mirror against Green Tron. I even like barely like it against Eldrazi Tron, because they just like all play an Urborg. They didn't have a removal spell, so it would have been, I guess, better to play MONKE. They have a Thoughtseize on top, which they're drawing this turn. Do you ever bring in Tunnel Ignis versus Amulet? I don't think I'm gonna spend my time today reading Tunnel Ignis. Got better things to do with my time than read Tunnel Ignis, chat. Alright, MONKE down. Well, they drew Thoughtseize for turn. Oh, they must have drawn the Ragavan off the Bauble. Alright, so let's just kill the Ragavan, get Delirium. Should you cut Inquisitions versus Shadow? You don't want to cut all your discard spells, since you need to be able to like discard Lurrus usually in these matchups. You probably want like a minimum 3 Inquisitions. Well, okay, well Tunnel Ignis literally will never ever trigger against Mono Green Tron. But you did trick me into reading it, chat. Is it Amulet? Okay, well, I'm yes, that card. If you have that card in your sideboard, it's literally only for the Amulet matchup. Bring it in there. I don't know why you'd ever have your sideboard that card in your sideboard if it's not for the Amulet matchup. But sure, bring it in. Bring it in there. But I thought you said Tron. Well, I shouldn't have played my lands, because if they crack the Delta, I want to play the Delta off the. If they go Delta, removal spell. It's good against fetches, is it? Sometimes. But they can also just like fetch on, like play the fetch on your turn. How did I get baited and talk about Tunnel Ignis? I have no one to blame but myself. So I'm going to heat the Lurrus, and hopefully we can just play Lurrus off. Well, I mean, if they have no removal, we can just attack. If they have 2 1-mana removal spells, things aren't great. So I can put my opponent to 1. I'll just Lurrus instead, I think. I'll play Channeler here. Hold up command. Voice volume is very low today. People come in and they say that every once in a while, that the voice volume is lower today than it is the other day. But it's really weird because it's always just like one person that says it, and I don't change anything. So I don't know if it's... I feel like it's probably on your end, or maybe I'm just talking quieter than I usually do. But it always is weird because I feel like I do get this comment sometimes. But again, it's usually when it's always just like one person out of like, you know, everybody. Yeah, it might just be low in general. I have it turned all the way up. It's maybe just because I talk kind of quietly and I don't have any music. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really speaking away from the mic. Maybe not. Sometimes I like lean back a bit. Definitely good to have feedback though. Like the feedback is really important because I can't, you know, I'm not listening to myself. I think we keep this on the draw. It's a very weird hand. Oh, we're playing against the blue-white artifact deck maybe? It could just be Affinity. But I like the blue-white artifact blade deck a lot. If I see a land on top, am I supposed to not cast MONKE? I think I'm supposed to draw the land. It's pretty close though. It looks like they're playing the blue-white artifact blade. So maybe in the spot I would sometimes dash Ragavan to play around Portable Hole, but I have 3 Ragavans, so... Five Nettle Cyst. So I have a couple options here. I can play Shinka, attack with Ragavan, bolt the Germ. I can also just go double bolts or bolt heats and connect. I kind of like taking my time a little bit here, just because the Relic is gonna really not enable my Kroxa to be good here. How much do you think I influenced the MTGO meta? Seems like you run against a list you built not long. Yeah, it happens pretty often that I play against decks that I've built. I don't know how to quantify like how much I influence it though. It's kind of hard to quantify. I have some amount of impact though. Some amount, a non-zero amount. Does Dauthi plus Alpine Moon eat the Jund Saga decks alive? I wouldn't say eat alive. They have a lot of answers to Voidwalker. Eat alive seems like a big old exaggeration to me. Yeah, going land equip here is a problem for us. They didn't equip? See if they're playing. Let's see, so I'm not sure. Yeah, they got Cauldron. I was playing multiple Nettle Cysts at the end of my testing. I feel like Nettle Cyst was kind of the best card in the deck. But yeah, I feel like they really should have equipped there. I wonder if I should have tried to trade Ragavan, actually. Trade Ragavan for Smith and just play another Ragavan. Probably not, because I also want an Inquisition here. Oh, they're playing the Karn Scion version. Yeah, I wonder how many changes they've made, because I did like the deck, but I did also feel like it needed some more testing. So I'm glad to see people are still playing it, because I did like this. Okay, glad to them pop the relic before I Kroxa. Not too bad with this exchange, because we just have more Ragavans. Might dash this turn. Oh yeah, we could have just also threatened the Shinka, that's true. Might as well play this. Well, I think I like keeping the treasures more than casting Kroxa, especially when like we know they have Kaldra to discard. Or maybe they like want to save Kaldra. I feel like I'm not in a big rush to cast there. Oh, awesome. Super rewarded. Like, max rewarded. Jeez. Their equipments are still, like, big scary here, though. Like, just any creature is gigantic with the Nettlecyst Shadow Spear. Yeah, I really dislike this concession. Just that they just draw Esper Sentinel. I guess I would have removal up after that. Not that they knew that. Some ins and outs to the case, I guess. Why would we not want them to discard Kaldra to Kroxa? I mean, if they're discarding Kaldra, they have better spells in their hand, and it's like if we wait and they play like their 2 cards in their hand, then we get to definitely discard the Kaldra. But because like we have 2 treasures, those 2 treasures can cast Kroxa this turn or next turn. Like it kind of seems like a wash to cast the Kroxa immediately. Because those treasures are used up once you use them. It's not like tapping your mana where you want to maximize your mana every single turn. But I agree, I didn't do a very good job articulating why I didn't cast Kroxa there, I think. I want to cut Ragavans on the draw. Just like to kind of... They have a lot of graveyard hate. Probably go down to at least 2 Kroxa, maybe 1. You go to 5 discard spells. Keep. Put back Terminate. Could put back Voidwalker. Voidwalker is maybe good against Thought Monitor. Good against Karn Scion of Urza. Esper Sentinel 2, I'd rather play Voidwalker on turn 2. I could keep a Lightning Bolt. And then the bolts can answer an Esper Sentinel, so I don't think I need to Bauble here. Saga, so they're a very good Saga deck. We don't have Alpine Moon yet. They brought in explosives too. It's kind of surprising to me. I guess I should have cracked my fetch first. Another land on top. I think I just have to shuffle and cast Voidwalker. Then the Thoughtseize will go nicely with the Voidwalker next turn. I'll also trade Channeler for Smith, I think. I think it's worth investing in MTGO. I mean, I rent my cards. It's also like these... I get asked, like, is it worth to do X or Y? I get asked these questions all the time, and I cannot determine what's worth it to you. Only you can, you know? What's worth it to me, like, I think, you know, especially because this is, like, my full-time career, like, I value things differently than I think most people do. Interesting they're not just going for tokens here. And, yeah, just you have to determine what's worth it or not. I can't do it for you. I'd love to find Alpine Moon, so I do think I'm going to bolt an upkeep here. Okay, not going to keep that into the explosives, of course. Although I can maybe keep an explosives into the Saga. Karn, Scion, Thought Monitor, Thought Monitor. So if they draw a land, they can Karn. If only I had my Voidwalker still alive. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They can also cast a Thought Monitor next turn. I think I just have to take one. The card is just too dangerous to let them have two. I mean, the first one's even maybe going to be too good. Do you ever get tired of Magic? I mean, sometimes. Like, but I really do love it. But I do occasionally get a little burned out, but I feel like I'm pretty good at managing burnout. Just good at like taking a step back when I do get tired. So next turn we get to go Explosives, which kills the Construct and their Explosives, and does pretty drastically put them off of the Thought Monitor too. But it would be you know, pretty weird if I never got tired of Magic at all. But also like the way I engage with the game, you know, always trying new things and always trying to build new decks and try to innovate. Like this way of why did they correct the Lantern? Just to shrink the Darcy? I don't think that that's worth it. But anyways, the way I engage with the game is like it very much keeps it fresh for me because I'm always trying new things. I'm having fun, building new decks and playing new games of Magic, like, you know, very, very often. That's definitely like how it keeps it interesting for me. Okay, so I think we just put Luris in hand. So I think they can monitor or Karn here. I'm not sure which they should do. They decide to go for the Karn. Makes a 4/4 token. So let me just bolt the Karn. Definitely keep that one. Oh, I could have also graveyarded it and cast it off Luris though. And they would have been able to. They would have had a window to relic it. Never mind. But yeah, I think I'm going to Vegas. I'm not 100% committed, but pretty committed. Milling the Bauble into the graveyard is kind of perfect too. Yeah, my phone's buzzing. I'm sorry. My mom's texted me about getting my flu shot. Mom, I'm trying to stream. Gosh. Another Teferi on top is kind of interesting. So the hand is Thought Monitor, Mystery card. I'm just going to Luris Bauble again while I can, because they have the Relic. Can keep that one. Still no hotel block information. I have a friend who like works in hotels that I might be going to Vegas with and might be just staying there at one of their hotels. Would you play Shenanigans if Phoenix over Wear Tear if Shenanigans was instant speed? I don't know. Who cares? I don't know. I don't always love the what if X or Y card did this thing instead of what it actually does conversations. They don't tend to be very productive conversations. Like Shenanigans is not instant speed, so it's just not really relevant. I didn't see Inquisition of Kozilek stack Bauble on my turn. I probably shouldn't have there. I don't think it ends up mattering that much. But you're right, and that's why I shouldn't have, because of the Teferi. Chief is going to Vegas? That's cool. At GP Phoenix, like right before the pandemic, I met Yamakiller, and I met K-Pons, and I met the Dive Down podcast guys, but I didn't, those like really like the only Magic personalities I've met since, I guess, becoming a Magic personality myself. Well, happy birthday, Tanit, or early happy birthday. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we actually just let this get countered and we play it from the graveyard. Like I'm gonna be going to Vegas with like my partner and likely some friends of mine too. So I know a lot of people have asked me to hang out. I don't know that I'm gonna have a lot of time to do that though. It'll just have to. We'll just see how my schedule's like. I don't want to commit to anything yet. A significant other or game partner? Is there any difference? Is there any difference? The game of life, my friend. Hang out with you for cast at instant speed? I'll have to think about it. It's a good comment, though. You guys want to pay for this? Me paying, though, doesn't mean I can't activate Den of the Bugbear, though. Oh, I can explosives away their... I can explosives away their Bauble here. It's kind of juicy. And I could try... I should be able to get Delirium to kill them. I guess it's not 100%. Oh, it didn't happen. So I go... Explosives... I have 2 more looks. I can go explosives from... I guess let's do it from the graveyard first. Oh no, this removes a card type. But I didn't say it's GG's, but I don't have lethal yet, but I'm not sure that they can win. That says I can't wait to get roasted on YouTube. I don't think I roasted them too bad. I've been listening to the Cyberpunk soundtrack a lot lately, and I just heard Esther go, there's Cyberpunks. I just keep going, get down, there's Cyberpunks. We'll easily draw another land here, by the way. Or connect with Ragavan. I didn't know she was listening either. I don't know if she has the stream up where she could just hear me, but she's in the other room.
I can just hear you.
You can just hear me? Oh
yeah.
No. I think it's Tron. Huh?
El Tums, ¿dónde está?
They should be on the counter or the table, or they could be right in front of me. I would never know. I'm gonna bolt here. Maybe I'll bolt with my mountain on my upkeep. Are you okay? Did you die to a flood of Tums crushing you? Cause that's what it sounded like. My graveyard.
So the question is, do you want these floor Tums?
No,
No.
I might need 4 Tums. I don't know.
Did you tell Chad about what I said yesterday?
No. You can tell me if you want.
Okay.
It might not be as funny.
Well, I was talking about how I didn't know the difference between nearsighted and farsighted when I was a kid. So I said, yeah, my brain back then didn't get it, but my now brain don't get it either.
my now brain don't get it either. Has been something we've been saying a lot.
My now brain don't get it.
My now brain don't get it. Any conceders in chat? I think we got some conceders in chat. Okay, can we get the moons, the Thoughtseize, got the Terminates and 2 heats. Doc, even 19 months, appreciate you, buddy. What's the best proactive deck in the format? Murktide, Gen Saga, something else? It's a question I think everybody's trying to answer right now. I don't think there's a clear best answer. The format, that metagame is changing a lot at the moment. I don't think I could answer with a degree of certainty. No, Voidbear is not that good against mono green Tron. They just tap a green mana and their spells resolve. Let's keep this. Let's keep this. Okay, this is gonna seem weird, but I'm gonna put back Den of the Bugbear. Because I wanna go Voidwalker on turn 2, Thoughtseize, win the game, ideally. And then the Channeler should give me like a pretty good chance to do that. And the Den doesn't cast the Voidwalker. Uh-oh. Well, this gives us another scry. We have one more look at a Black Source. Okay, or 2 more looks here. I'm going to graveyard that. So they have another star. I guess I'm just taking that. This feels kind of bad. We had Surveil, Bauble, Draw, Surveil. So yeah, this is going to be our 5th look at a Black Source. They immediately find stirrings for power plants. Feels so bad. You have 2 worm coils. We can maybe beat the worm coils with the Voidwalker, but dang, it feels so bad. Still, I think I like our play. It just really didn't work out. Do I think Heliod is definitely not a popular deck at the moment. It could be a bit better than the amount of representation it sees. I actually have been hearing from friends that it's like surprisingly good in like their local paper metagames. I'm not sure how true that is. Okay, they don't get to draw a card off the star because of Voidwalker. And so if we draw a land, we can Kolaghan's Command the Worm Coil. They did draw Stirrings, but they brick and they hit a mine, so their hand is Worm Coil, Mine, Mystery card. That Mystery card is Ugin. Okay, we're done. Tron. Second time losing to Tron today. We maybe win that game if we, I don't know. If we keep the Alpine Moon, we keep the Den, but I really liked our play. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Yeah, Modern's like I think about as good as it ever is right now. Obviously not perfect, like it never is, but I think it's pretty good. Springleaf Drum on top. No Lura, so not Hammer Time. Oh! Is this... I mean, it looks like it's the Stoneblade deck again. Are a lot of people picking this deck up? Because I feel like I liked it. I wanted to return to it. But I didn't realize that so many people would pick it up. This is our second time playing against it today. How much tension is having done with Voidwalker? You have 2 Graven Cairns and an Urborg to help the tension. It is some tension for sure. But you have a little bit of help. I like the 1 Tourach main. It used to be 3. I think 1's a good number. I kind of would like to find room for a second. I'm just not sure exactly what would change to let you have a second one. That's what I kept over at Alpine Moon. So I surveilled Alpine Moon to the graveyard because I needed to hit a land. If you watch the game, you'll see what happened. But I had to hit a land there. I kept a 1 lander. I think I'm gonna Inquisition here, with the intention of being able. I had Darcy Bauble 1 land. I was trying to surveil into a second Black Source in my Voidwalker double Thoughtseize hand. Okay, so they're playing Thopter Foundry in this version. I think I should take the Lantern, because I have Kroxa here. What's stuff for deck? So last week I 5-0'd with this blue-white Artifact Blade deck. I tried a few different versions, like the Urzas. I tried a few cards over them, but this is the look of the deck. And then some people I've been hearing that people are trying out a version like this with Thopter Foundry, which is an interesting way to approach the deck. They did brick on their Smith, which is good to not get 2-for-1 here, of course. So they hand a Springleaf Drum, Thopter Foundry Mystery card, and they'll have 2 Mystery cards after the Bauble Crack and their draw step. Let's get a Kroxa here. As always, running Terminate deck. I've been running Terminate for a long time. It's really important to deal with Murktide Regent. And the matchups is like, with 3 Terminates in the 75, I find it tends to be the sweet spot to have a good Murktide matchup. So Urborg or Filterland does let us Tourach next turn. Can I try Simic Infect? I'd like to know how the deck is in the meta. We currently have, I just kind of play whatever I want to on stream policy. If I ever get the hankering to play Blue-Green Infect, I will, but I think that if you want to find how it is in the meta, it's way more efficient to test it yourself than to ask me to play it. And I can also predict to you, it's my hunch that it's probably not that good. I mean, I don't really want to let my opponent draw cards here. The top card is Urza Saga. Jeez. The third den. Acolyte 16 months. Appreciate you. Thank you for saying that, Acolyte. And Smith. God, their draw is really good. Maybe we could revisit this deck next. I'm going to cast this Kroxa. Pretty clutch draw. Discard the Thopter Foundry and they keep the Nettle Cyst. Yeah, I would wait before building a deck for Vegas. There's going to be a new set that releases before Vegas too. Not any rush. So it's attack and get that Nettle Cyst out of their hand. And then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. And so we might be able to get a good value out of our Kolaghan's command here. So make a 5/5 Saga token. Smith becomes a 1 or 2/2. And if they get, or I should say, when they get shut. Oh, they're floating a mana. That's really interesting. So I should probably go kill the Construct, kill the Ingenious Smith here. Pay for one of the Sentinels. No, I don't think I'm supposed to kill the Spear. If I could just kill their 2 big creatures. The Spear is not that good here. Although they have something else to do with their mana. They're casting Urza. I mean, we don't. They were hellbent going into this turn, assuming that they have their 4-drop as the one unknown card. I think is not. Okay, they're right. Do we know about Urza from a Bauble or something? Or does chat just always summon the best card to my opponent's hand? Float means Urza. I mean, float is literally any 2-mana spell, right? Literally any 2-mana spell. Ingenious Smith. Stoneforge Mystic lets them equip Shadow Spear, cast their 2-mana spell. But you guys are right. Yeah, Spear is really good in the deck. Maybe we should revisit it. Maybe we should revisit the deck. Yeah. Like knowing that it's Urza, like what are we supposed to do here? Or at least like we're super cold to Urza, so kind of feels largely fine to just lose to it. Urza's the only card better than another token. Maybe, but it's also like is like another token better than equipping the Shadow Spear plus playing Ingenious Smith or Stoneforge Mystic? Especially when there's Kroxa in play, like getting the card in your hand, you know, has more value. Getting the card out of your hand has more value. But also like we can't beat Urza anyway probably, so there's also like you probably just aren't supposed to really worry about it too much. I worked on the black-white control deck. Not super recently, but I did look at the last list. I think it looked pretty good, so you might see me play that one again. You played against Phoenix 3 out of 4 rounds yesterday, LGS. Yeah, I want to play some Phoenix again soon. Maybe today. I either want to play Phoenix or like regular Blue-White Stoneblade or like this version of Blue-White Stoneblade. I'm not sure which. I think we should go to game 2 though. So we did just play this matchup. It's kind of funny to play this matchup twice in one league. Just running on 4 Thoughtseize, no Inquisition. Tourach is good. They have a lot of white cards. Voidwalker's fine. I want to keep their monkeys on the play. Maybe we trim a DRC on the play and Ragavan on the draw. Did I see Doom 5-0 with Muldrifter? I did see that, yeah. How did the Muldrifters look? Did he like have opinions on the Muldrifters? Yeah, North is for like the Luris Mirror matches. It's the best card you can play for those matchups, in my humble opinion. I like Sultai Bring to Light. Do you think it's a bad spot for the meta? I don't know. I played it yesterday. I only played 3 matches though. I feel like it's probably fine. I do like that deck a lot too. The MVP of the deck? You have any Doom Wakes in the chat? I believe it. I believe it. I just kind of want to see it in action, you know what I mean? Where are we at the God Run stream? Still, there's Dino's still working on it. Still working on it. When I left this morning, he was on game 2, at the end of game 2. What are my thoughts of the Naya Saga Van deck? I don't like it as much as Jund. It's fine, though. So I'd probably just take the 3 for 3 here. Cutting my opponent off of artifacts just like makes their thought monitors so much worse. What's this blue-white doing? I wasn't paying attention. This is, I believe, a riff on the blue-white artifact-based Stoneblade deck that I put together last week. Could also, of course, be some parallel thinking. But the idea is that Esper Sentinel, Portable Hold, these are really just good, kind of fair 1-mana artifacts that you can play to support other good, powerful cards like Thought Monitor, Urza, without needing to include underpowered cards like Min-Might in your deck. That's the big idea. And I 5-0'd with it last week, and we played it like all day, one day, trying to find the best version. I think this is the last list I played, but I also tried some. It's not the right list, but I also tried some versions with like Karn Scion of Urza. Oh, this was not the last list because it's not playing. I settled on 4 Darksteel Citadels. Yeah, this is not the right list. This was the first draft. This is the list I 5-0'd with. But I think Darksteel Citadel's too good to not play it. Maybe you should only play 3 Citadels, but Citadel is really important, I think. They bricked twice on their Smith here. It really is Augur of Bolas, I guess. Probably just want to play the second Voidwalker here. Min-Might makes Drum better. Yeah, but you have Smith, Stoneforge Sentinel to make Drum like a passable card. But you know, like I'm just like, it's just what's nice about like this deck is you're not nearly as cold to Artifact Hate because you're just playing like Stoneforge for Cauldra, Ingenious Smith, Esper Sentinel. You're not like you don't just lose to Artifact Hate cards like Affinity does, and you also get to play a more grindy interactive game. You get to play Metallic Rebuke. That's the idea behind the deck. Sideboard I know seems odd to me. If you have a grindy matchup as very well, Lurrus Command. Why not sideboard another K Command? K Command will always bring back Lurrus to give you more incremental value. Mana efficiency is less important in that scenario. Mana efficiency is... Oh, dude. I guess they have a 2-drop in play. Mana efficiency is super important in those matchups. I actually really, really disagree. And in the Lurrus Mirror matchups, like, mana efficiency is wildly important. And the matchups also, like, always revolve around Lurrus. And so just being able to get Lurrus back for 1 mana and get a 2-for-1 that's very impactful for 1 mana oftentimes is just incredibly huge. And you already have 3 Kolaghan's commands, and raising your curve is not necessarily great. But I found the First Unearth to be really, really good. Blossoming Calm. Well, we still get to kill the Nettle Cyst. Kind of surprised to see the Blossoming Calm brought in against us. I also found the Burn matchup to be really good for this blue-white deck. I found the Burn matchup to be great, so I'm kind of surprised that this is even in the sideboard. Exciting news from Sergeant Snuggles. Okay. You won a match with Enduring Ideal. Wow. That is exciting news. It's a big game for the Enduring Ideal community, huh? That's funny. I kind of want to kick Tourach. I feel like the last card's Thought Monitoring. Sideboard for... I mean, this card is, like, not that good against discard-heavy decks. It's not Blossoming, or it's not Veil of Summer. Yeah, the draw, I want the 4th Channeler. Don't want the 4th Ragavan. I mean, Burn is on the rise, and so, like, Blossoming Calm is a very good sideboard card against Burn. I've really been impressed by it against them. But also, Blossoming Calm, I like it in Jeskai Phoenix against both Burn, which is not a good matchup for Jeskai Phoenix, and it also counters Endurance ETB, which is a hard card to beat. And the Rebound is also really good in Jeskai Phoenix. Is it better than Timely? Yeah, it's really good against them, Fran. It's really good. You know, it counters a burn spell and then gains you 2, so that's 5 life immediately, and then it gives you hexproof until your next turn. So any sorcery speed burn spells, they can't be cast for 2 turns because you get to rebound it and still have hexproof. It's really good against burn. Probably have to keep this. Don't love it though. Actually, like Ruined Halo is a white sideboard card. All right, make your case for Ruined Halo. I'm listening. You know, I don't like Blossoming Calm versus discard spells. Yeah, I don't think it's, especially in a synergy-based deck like our opponents, I don't like Blossoming Calm. But I do like Blossoming Calm against Endurance for Phoenix because it's really hard to beat, and it also just like if you resolve Calm, like they can't Endurance you for like 3 turns. Dude, why is Esper Sentinel so good? So freaking good. I liked Rune Halo a lot against Murktide. Okay. I hear you. Yes. Okay. Chat, never make this block. People make this block all the time, and they just don't know how good Sentinel is against these decks. I would lose so many more matches if people just wouldn't trade Sentinels for my creatures. But Sentinel it is so freaking hard to beat. Pretty good one. They do get 1 token, though. When I bolt a response to block before the surveils, they get to draw a card if we do that. And that is not... trading a surveil for a card is a bad trade. Because 2 Sentinels trigger, we don't have enough mana to pay for both. I guess they might needle my Mire, so I'm going to fetch now. Can the Endurance 3 rebound trigger on the stack? They can, yeah, that's true. But like if the rebound happens, like then you can discard the Phoenixes and that whole turn they can't Endurance you. But if there's something in your yard, then they can Endurance you. And I guess Endurance also just, you know, it does block pretty well. Alright, so we get to Tourach 2 cards in their hand. And I guess I'll Bauble myself here first. Top card is... Hey, Simon. Kolaghan's Command. You want to keep that one, chat? What do you think? Worth keeping? Get back to me. Let me know what you decide, if that one's worth keeping or not. Discard Lantern, Springleaf Drum. Protection from white. Protection from white. Let's go. I think I'd probably make this block. I get to Den. Was he those Dimir Luris controllers playing Tourach? I haven't seen exactly that. I feel like Tourach doesn't necessarily play great with counter spells, but it's kind of interesting. I think I'm going to attack here. This makes a Thought Monitor in their hand, put it harder to cast, removing the artifact. And then I do think they might have another Rebuke, so I don't want to fire off this command too aggressively, because I feel like we can play around Rebuke. Like, yeah, like next, like I'm just gonna put Luris in my hand here. I'm not gonna cast the Alpine Moon. And this kind of incentivizes them to equip Shadow Spear attack, and then they get smashed by the Kolaghan's Command. They didn't equip, which even does more solidify the possibility of a Rebuke. We can pay for Rebuke if we play either of our 3 drops next turn. Grab a Cauldra. Well, this is going to be a good turn. So we're going to go Luris, they'll crack their Lantern in response, but then they don't get to draw a card off the Lantern. And then we kill this. Be in great shape. Is it expensive renting cards? It's a flat rate for the month, and I with Mana Treasures, which is the service I use, it gets cheaper every month. Maybe we should kill the Shadow Spear instead. Kind of like that. Not really too scared of the 2/2 construct. Yes, Seacrum Coast does look like the artifact land. Should I discard going Tourach was cute? I mean, it's cute, but then they get a freaking Cauldron play. I think Cerebrus considering blue-red spells. I haven't played the deck in a while. I would kind of... They must have Thought Monitor in their hand. I'm under the impression that Consider is probably better, but I haven't actually tested it. Oh, wait. Fear doesn't do anything. Sorry, they can still block. That's true, they block with Construct. That's true, yeah. They've been good there. They might not know they can block, though. So yeah, I think one of their 2 cards like basically has to be Thought Monitor. I think this is the first time we've activated Den of the Bugbear all day, which is weird. 3-1 though. Like it's a Luris deck, got a pretty strong hand. Yeah, if somebody confidently gave their guy Fear, there's no chance they would try to block, yeah. Do you think Esper Blade is a bit viable? Maybe. I've been playing just regular blue-white Stoneblade and liking that a bit more without the black splash for Dakin. I do like Dakin, but I think Teferi's like a stronger card in the metagame. So I don't feel like the splash is like, and your mana is a lot better when you don't splash because you play a lot of white 1-drops. But I've been actually really liking the blue-white Stoneblade deck. We did really well. We did pretty well. We were like, I remember we had a 75% win rate. Oh, it's Lotus Turtle Storm. Okay. I remember we had a 75% win rate with it on Friday, and we played 4 matches, but I don't remember exactly. 4 leagues. I guess you could just figure out exactly what that is. 15-5. Yeah, 15-5. Reverse engineered the math. Alright, Voidwalker is pretty good here, although they get to Prismatic Ending it next turn. I guess we just take the L. Take the ending. Yeah. The Tron matchup's usually pretty good for Black-Red. You just lose to it sometimes, right? You lose your good matchups, you win your bad ones. That's magic. Safe to say the Boggles matchup for Red-Black is not good. I don't know. I haven't played it much. Boggles is probably favored, but you have 3 explosives in the sideboard, and you can like Luris explosives a lot of the time. I'm probably not that worried about it, you know. I think I'll make them discard, get back Ragavan here. Discard one. No, discard the Water Grave we know about. So they have 2 mystery cards. 3 after the draw step. Not super likely they could win. Boggle's a sleeper in the meta? No, I maybe. Like, I'm not 100% no, but I have seen like a lot of players, maybe not a lot, but I've seen a handful of times recently, players pick up Boggles thinking it's this big sleeper that's great in the metagame, and then, you know, get stomped by Tron, which is a popular deck, get overpowered by like the overall power level of decks just being like way higher than Boggles. Or, you know, or like lose to like the very mini engineered explosives in the deck. Living In is a popular deck. I think that people have tricked themselves into thinking that maybe Boggles is good, but I'm not of the opinion that Boggles is good. Yeah, Shadow Spear is like a really popular card for sure. Okay, I'm gonna take this Consider, I think. Yeah, really good hit from MONKE. Yeah. I think that Boggles is probably favored against Red-Black, but I mean, I also think it's probably not that hard to just mulligan to explosives in the post-board games. Oh, sorry for. I need to get these cups off the table. They discard Dream's Grip, Steam Vents. Let's get that Luris out of here. Yeah, it's also like Hammer. Yeah, Hammer Time just probably beats Boggles fair and square, right? Fair and square. It doesn't work if you have high number. Well, the thing is with Luris, it's like pretty easy to recur explosives, right? It's like the high number once, then you explosives again with Luris. Maybe that's, you know, maybe I don't understand the dynamic of the matchup, but I also don't care that much. You don't think Boggles lifelink can raise? Well, well, you know, they don't always have lifelink, and Hammer Time has Yawgmoth Nexus to ignore lifelink too. Maybe I should have played Channeler first. I don't know that it matters. Oh, they tapped their Confluence to go out their own way. Very honorable. Do I want to Chalice? I have so many 1-drops. I probably can't afford Chalice. Can't afford Chalice? Relatable. They do have a lot of removal. Yeah, there's no way in my 19 1-drop I want a Chalice on 1, which is the number you name against them. I guess I'll just keep in the bolts. I'll play it on Earth. Yojis has a lot of mill. It's kind of a scary matchup. You know, definitely bring in Flusterstorms to fight Surgicals. And like your own, you can also bring in your own surgical to like soft counter a surgical. But that's really what the matchup revolves around is surgical extraction. And so if you always keep in mind that you need to be playing around it at all moments, maybe you're going to be okay. Is that my phone vibrating? Maybe. I don't remember. I didn't hear it vibrating just now, but it's been a little bit today. If it's super distracting, I apologize. Does blue red run some number of considers, in my opinion? I think probably, but it would be something you'd have to play test. I think that Jeskai Murktide with Consider and Prismatic Ending is an interesting way to go, because Prismatic Ending gives you like that extra sorcery, and it solves a lot of problems beating Rest in Peace and Chalice for you. So that's something I've been wanting to test. Oh, graveyard that. That's something I've been wanting to test, but I haven't. Their hand sucks. I don't think you've missed Jeskai Phoenix this week. I think I might save it for tomorrow, and I might play it today. Like I think I want to switch decks after this. I'm not sure if I want to switch to Blue-White Stoneblade or if I want to switch to Phoenix after this. It's probably worth twiddling to Surveil, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Valky felt good yesterday or poorly positioned? Somewhere in the hell that lies in between, perhaps. Somewhere in the hell in between. I don't know. Yeah, I've been liking Stoneblade. I'm also, I think that's what I'm writing my CFB article on tonight, so I probably should be playing it for a little small refresher, huh? Out of Time is really good for it. Out of Time. Are we talking about... We're not still talking about Enduring Ideal, are we, Snuggles? If Enduring Ideal is ever like somehow secretly good in Modern, I'll never know. I have a 0% chance of knowing that that deck is secretly somehow good because I'm not going to be playing it. There's no way. You're 2-1? I just... Enduring Ideal is like, it's this 7-mana card you build your deck around, and I feel like even when it resolves, you're still not winning the game all that often, and you have almost no good matchups. Out of Time is some good tech, though. I'll say that. I'm out of touch. Out of time. Are they gonna Ave here? Any Avers on the chat? Okay. It's pretty good. I think they're dead, though, if I draw lands. No, they're dead either way. Cool. I don't think I've ever seen this card cast in Modern before. Didn't seem like it, it's getting the job done. What do you think of Monastery Mentor as an alternate win con in Phoenix? You don't need an alternate win con. Your deck is really good at fighting through Graveyard Hate. And that's my opinion. And I think your very limited sideboard is better left like fighting more linear decks, I think. Ooh, a Jeweled Lotus. Alright, I am now aspiring EDH player. No, wait, I'm not, because they still have an unbanned Golos. Okay, but
Bye.